So you're thinking about moving to the central coast of California. Well, there are a lot of reasons why people do want to move here, but today I'm going to talk to you about reasons why people do not want to move to the central coast and actually why people don't like the central coast. But after this video, I just want to be transparent and share all the information I can with everyone. But if you still want to move to the central coast, give me a call, shoot me a text or an email. I'm happy to help you through your journey. And I'm going to get after it right now. Reason number one for not wanting to live here or hating to live here is the cost of living. It costs a lot of money to live here on the Central Coast. So real estate is expensive to buy, it's expensive to rent, and basically everything else, gas and other accommodations and everything that you're going to buy here on the coast just costs a little bit more because we are far away from the main cities and everything has to be trucked in here. So cost of living is a big reason why people would not want to. Me personally, because I've lived outside of California, I've lived in hot weather, I've lived in cold weather, actually freezing cold weather. So I like the weather here in the Central Coast, but a lot of people do not. And they say that they miss the seasons. And it's true, we don't have 4 distinct seasons here on the Central Coast. The weather is basically the same throughout the year. We hover in the 60s and 70s. Gets a little bit warmer, it gets a little bit colder every so often. Sometimes we get some rain, but all in all, we don't have a hard summer and a cold winter. And there's no big distinctions between our seasons. So people do get tired of no seasons and having the same weather year round. Okay, well next up is our public transportation. If you live here, you're probably going to want to have a car, or you're going to spend a lot of money on Uber, Lyft, and other ways to get around town because we do have limited public transportation here on the coast. This is a picture of our free trolley. It runs to Avila Beach and around the 5 cities area. We do have buses here in San Luis Obispo County and in Santa Barbara County that move us around from town to town, but it really is limited. There's not a lot of infrastructure. We do not have subways or major infrastructure for public transportation. So that's kind of a bummer about California in general, but it's a little bit worse here because we're a small rural area. We just don't have that much public transportation available to move us around. So again, if you're not a driver, it does make it a little bit challenging and limited to get around town here on the Central. Our next reason is separation, isolation from the big cities. So the Central Coast is a small area. We don't have a lot of people, and we are, relatively speaking, the state of California is a really big state, but to get to the major cities being San Francisco to our north and Los Angeles to our south, each one ranges 3 to 5 hour drive depending on the traffic. So we are pretty isolated from the major cities, and that can deter people from living here. Either you want the medical care of the cities, or you want the action sports and the big activity of the large cities. We have access to them. They can be a day trip or a weekend trip, but all in all, we are pretty isolated and it's pretty quiet here on the coast. So we don't have all that fun stuff that's happening in our large California metropolitan. Another big reason why people do not want to live here and they're not happy about living here is the lack of jobs. So it's expensive to live here, and 2, there just really are not a lot of professional jobs that can support the lifestyle and the needs and the cost of living here in San Luis Obispo. So we're hiring. Sure, people do hire around here. People are looking for work, but all in all, you're pretty lucky if you have a job that pays you well enough to be a homeowner and or even a renter here on the Central Coast. So it is expensive to live here, and the jobs just are not great. Well, it is California. It's the coast of California, so another reason why people shy away from moving here to California, here on the Central Coast, is the earthquakes. So we are right here in the red zone. So we are very prone for earthquakes. It's been about 20 years, it's 2023 right now. It's been about 20 years since we've had a good shake, a good earthquake. So we're due. People that have lived here and their whole lives and born and raised here, we just get used to the earthquakes. But earthquakes are a really good reason for a lot of people to say no to living here in the Central. Okay, our last one kind of goes hand in hand with being far away from the cities. That we just don't have all of the urban amenities that a lot of people want, especially the younger people that live here. And I hear it from people that are born and raised here, especially younger youth like my kids. They say, well, you know, it's kind of a slow, boring place to live. There's not a lot of like nightlife and fun, you know, evening activities. So it is a quieter town. We do have, don't really have like honky tonks or big dance clubs here. We do have clubs and bars that are fun, but it's just not the city. It's still small town life. So some people shy away from this area because it is a sleepy, quiet little town, and there's not a whole lot of action and activity. However, that being said, I just like to be as transparent as possible, let you know that I personally love living here on the Central Coast, and a lot of the people that I know here do love living here. So if there's anything I can ever do to help you, if you're looking to relocate here, give me a call, shoot me a text or an email, and I'll help you out, whatever you like. Thanks a bunch. I'll talk to you soon.